Okay, let me get those cards real quick. I'll be 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm. 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 Hello, Jamie. Hello, Angelique Boone. What's happening? Hello, ACNC12 Adrienne, one of our very, very best customers. Hello, Christy Basemore. Anna Lou, please watch your step as you file into the auditorium. Everybody watch your step. Hello, Christy, one of our regulars. Hello, Yenna. Hello, Angela Johnston. Kitten Tracks. Hello, Liz Key, not to be confused with Elizabeth Betts or Elizabeth Estrada. 3 different people. Hello, Jewel. Hello, Esprit. Hello, Julie's Overalls. Hi, Hunter, beautiful person. Hello, Savanita. Hello, Tanya Cherry. Hello, Darla. Hello, Sarah Reed Spencer.
Hello.
Hello, Christy Kincaid Norris. Hey, Christy, this is El Presidente Sean. Hey, those dumbasses, they didn't have any advertisers. That's why they didn't do a podcast. Okay, so that happens sometimes, especially when there's a recession. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Sarina. Hello, Jennifer Shashevsky. Thank you, Jennifer Shashevsky. It's very nice. Very nice thing to say. Hello, Albert.
Oh, hear the children.
Hello, I hear children playing and laughing. Hello, Lori. Hannah Herb, I have not done spearfishing per se, but when I was a youngster, I went frog gigging, and I would gig frogs, I would gig snakes, and I would gig the occasional fish. So not spearfishing, but I guess redneck spearfishing. Hello, Esprit. Hello, Esprit. Esprit. I know I've said it right one time. I'm not trying to butcher your name. I'm sorry, Esprit. Hello, Tanya. Where have you been? Hello, Micah. Hello, Holly. Why was that a drink? Because I did an impression? That's a drink? All right. Hey, this is El Presidente. This is El Presidente, Sean. Hey, Alan, I'm on the way to Austin. This is El Presidente. Hey, you and me and the notorious BMG need to go get some sushi. See if you can round up that red-headed wife of yours. See if we can go get some sushi. Boss man will pay. Put it on the company dime. Oh. Hannah Herb, that I don't know about that spearfishing, because you're creating activity and creating blood in the water, and man, I don't know. Seems like whenever a guy is attacked by a shark, he's always he's either spearfishing or surfing. He's doing one of those 2 things. See, Tiny Cherry said she liked your Bonnaroo hair, babe.
Oh, this is the natural texture when I let it air dry.
It's very,
this is it. Flat on top and a little bit of, as Alan likes to call, frizz. It is a little frizzing.
It's very frizz.
That's the natural look, but thank you.
It's very, very frizzy. It's the natural look. Jennifer, why do you want to get me in trouble? Hello, Amy Wilkerson. Why? Why no whistle talk? I haven't done it in so long.
Because I've asked you not to.
I haven't done it in so long that I forgot how to do it. You know who the biggest what am I trying to say? The biggest I don't know the right word. The people who are guilty of whistle talking the most are like old men who carve soap. Like your grandpa or your like great uncle who like he whittles with a pocket knife, and he would just sit there and talk to you about everything he knows. If you ever are sitting there and an old man is whittling, or he's eating an apple, he's cutting an apple with a pocket knife, he's eating off that knife, you should listen, because he probably has a lot of really good things, profound things to say, especially if he whistle talks. Hector Wasabi. Your epiglottis? Hannah Herb, why does it make your epiglottis hurt? When you do when I do Sean, when I do fake Sean, or when I whistle talk? I'm confused. Hey, Trey. Whittlers. Yes, whittlers. Oh, yeah, you're right, Amy Wilkerson. I think it is an uvula. I thought it was a Tommy Jean. I thought it was I thought it was an epiglottis. Oh. Hannah Herb says the whistle talk is like a coochie quiver, but it's an vulva twitch.
No, it feels like my eardrums are getting stabbed with needles when he does it.
Do you think it's a worse feeling when we're out on a nice Sunday afternoon driving at 20 miles an hour with the windows down? Is that more painful?
That's more of a pressure. So the car windows is more painful than the stabbing needle effect on my eardrums.
Sounds like an ailment.
Well, I've asked you not to do it. And you've been
somebody in the chat room asked me to do it.
Well, I don't like it because it hurts me.
Oh.
And you've been very nice not to do it until tonight. But thank y'all for asking him to do it, knowing now though that it causes me physical pain.
Physical pain.
Won't do that anymore.
Physical. Why is it drink? Christy Kincaid Norris, an ailment?
It's not an ailment.
Oh, I offended you. That's a drink.
That's a drink.
I didn't throw you on Front Street. Jennifer Shashevsky.
I don't get that.
Jennifer Shashevsky is the one who wanted me to do it.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
Oh. Okay. Hello, Mel. Tommy Jean said, had fun with your mom today?
Yeah, they went shopping at Belk.
Oh, your mom's in South Carolina?
They went to see Belk. They went to the wedding in Georgia, went to South Carolina. They've been there.
I had no idea. You haven't told me that. I had no idea.
We've been talking about that.
Nope.
They had the wedding in Georgia. They're driving back tomorrow.
What wedding?
Mama's half-brother Donald's daughter got married.
No idea. This is all brand new news to me. Had no idea. Absolutely no idea.
Maybe I keep secrets.
Well, I just don't think you told me, because that's something I would remember.
You ready? Because I'm going to have to go pick up Kellie.
Well, yeah, we've been talking, and you've been.
I've been working.
Head and laptop.
I've been working.
Get me another Pepsi Cola.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I sat there and I.
Well, then throw this away. You still got Pepsi in here. Come on, Alan.
There's not much here. I'll just take 2 seconds.
We're squeezing in this podcast early because Emma Kellie is at driving school from 6 to 8. So I got to leave here in about an hour to go get her. So we're going to knock this out. All right. It's going to be great. It's going to be great when Alan gets back.
Like diamond rings and football teams tore this man apart.
Okay. There he is.
There he is, Mr. America.
Check 1, 2. Check.
Richard Cranium, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Richard Cranium, please pick up the red courtesy phone.
Welcome, everyone, to A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast. Whether this is your first time listening or you've been there since day one or you're somewhere in between all of that, I'm Kellie Rasberry Evans, and this is my husband and podcast co-host, Alan Evans.
Hey, trade in the house.
Thank y'all for being here. I don't know, where do you like to listen to podcasts, Alan? Where do you typically find yourself listening?
I listen on Apple Podcasts, and I listen mostly on walks
That's what I was, yeah.
and in the car when I'm alone,
Mm-hmm.
not when there's people with me.
Because you like to really pay attention to what's being said.
Yeah, in the podcasts I listen to generally they're not for kids.
Yeah.
So
I listen to a lot of true crime. Right now I'm listening to one I just found. It's an offshoot of Dateline called Internal Affairs with Josh Mankiewicz, and I love him. He's a great host. But anyway, I've been listening to that one, but I mostly listen in the car and on walks. That's exactly what I do. And then also when I'm just walking around the house doing laundry, the fanny pack that I use for the dogs to go walking with their poop bags in it, I put it on when I'm walking around the house. I put my phone in there and my Raycon earbuds, #bonus ad, #bonus ad. And I just walk around the house and listen to my podcast. I love it.
I don't listen at home too much.
I do when I'm cleaning. I've gotten really out of the habit of watching a lot of TV. Somebody was asking me what I watch, and I said, honestly, The Real Housewives is about it. I know Salt Lake City is back, and I haven't had a chance to watch that, but I love the Salt Lake City cast. Atlanta just wrapped up. I got back into Atlanta. Beverly Hills is winding down. I just love The Real Housewives, and that's about it. We'll watch football if it's on, but there's no series. I know you want to watch that Jeffrey Dahmer one you talked about.
My dad started watching it, and he said he got through episode 1. I haven't started yet. I asked Kellie if she'd watch with me. She's kind of on the fence. I'm kind of on the fence because my dad just texted, and all he said was, I watched episode 1 of Dahmer. Disturbing.
Yeah, well, obviously.
He just said disturbing.
The subject matter. But anyway, I don't think I want to watch it. But
my mom won't watch it.
Yeah. I don't want to.
She's not watching with my dad.
I don't want to feed my soul with that. And yet I listen to murder and true crime podcasts.
Right. Yeah, you do.
I don't know. It's just different.
Why is it different?
I don't know why, but
because there's cannibalism involved.
Yes. I don't know.
Cannibalism's pretty wheels off.
That's next level.
Is it true that he said tattoos taste funny?
I don't know. I haven't dug deep enough into his story, but I do know there was some psychologist who said he was, I don't know if pathological is the word I'm looking for. Chronically, maybe chronic is the word, chronically lonely, extremely lonely. And so he would eat his victims because he wanted to keep part of them with him at all the time. I guess we can't begin to understand mental illness because it just doesn't make sense.
You know what I think? Here's my opinion, that what really freaks people out about somebody like that is when you just look at them and you kind of learn that, in kind of everyday life, they appeared pretty normal.
Yeah.
And then behind closed doors, this dude's keeping heads in his fridge and making skin lamps and doing S like that. You're like, what happened to the human mind along the way that transformed it into that? To where on the outside, it looks completely normal, but on the inside, man, there is something not quite right.
I have no answers other than everybody needs Jesus. Jesus would fix a lot of things. All right. So on this podcast today, we've got to get through a few things in pretty succinct order because I got to go pick up my daughter from driving school.
You got this?
She's finishing up this week.
You got this?
Yes. We're going to we have not done the podcast since I did my big Tyra Banks interview.
Oh, that's right.
I had, Andrea Dowling Gullidge was saying prayers for me up to the moment, all through it, all that day for me. And I appreciate that. So I'll tell you how that went. Also, this is Halloween. This is spooky season. This is October, spooky season. And people are starting to plan their Halloween costumes, Alan. A lot of people put a lot of thought into it. A lot of people wait to the last second.
What are we going to be?
Well, Alan, we'll get to it. We're going to talk a little bit about what your Halloween costume says about you, but you have a choice to make when we get to that segment of the podcast. Also,
there's only 2 that I am. So
also, Big Brother is watching. We know that.
Like the show on CBS?
No, I mean like whenever we could be talking about something out of the blue.
Uncle Sam?
The government, whatever. The people. We could be talking about something out of the blue and suddenly you notice that you're getting ads pop up on your cell phone and stuff. So we all know Big Brother's watching.
Sure.
Is that always a bad thing? Is that always a bad thing? We'll talk a little bit about that. And of course, 5-star reviews. We're going to end on a positive note. I've been asking for people to like, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review, and we'll read those 5-star reviews on the podcast. And we're just getting such great ones, and I really appreciate it because I need a little pat on the back to say, to end the podcast.
Gonna whip it out and stroke it.
I'm gonna do
ego.
that.
Stroke that ego.
And I'm blatantly asking for your 5-star reviews.
Yes.
Leave your name, and I'll say your name too. All right. But we do have a lot to get to. So let's just start with Tyra Banks real quick. Okay. So I was asked, there's an event called the Chick Lit Luncheon, and they host it every year. And they usually invite in somebody pretty famous who has written books or really loves books or have some, I don't know, they're just famous.
The Chick Lit Luncheon?
Chick Lit, like chick literature.
There's Alan with the Chick Lit smile. He thinks he's famous too.
Yeah. And the benefit is it's helping children who are battered and abused and in the foster care system. They played a video that was so incredibly sad about what so much abuse and the scary things that children have to face in this world. It's terrible. So anyway, they asked Tyra Banks to come in. And in the past, they've had most recently like Katie Holmes, formerly Mrs. Tom Cruise, Goldie Hawn, who is actually really brilliant. Y'all if you're looking for, she's really talking about the mental health of children and how important it is to intervene at such a young age. She's really doing some great work if you haven't checked out what Goldie Hawn's been working on. But this year it was Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks is in the middle of the live Dancing with the Stars shows on Disney Plus. It moved to Disney streaming, and they are under super strict COVID protocols. She told us she gets tested like twice a day.
Wait a minute. She's doing that now?
Yeah. It's every Monday night's the live show. So they're in the middle of production. They have
tested twice a day?
Yes, because if you get in Hollywood's a different animal, honey. If anybody gets COVID.
I thought there were 4 vaccines and 28 boosters and everybody was up to date.
It doesn't matter. You can still get COVID.
Oh.
You can still get COVID. And so if she gets COVID, she cannot work, right? So when she booked this gig to speak at the Chick Lit Luncheon a long time ago, she, didn't know the schedule, I guess, for Dancing with the Stars. But the fact that she still honored that commitment said a lot. But she had to really keep her distance. She came in wearing a mask. She did her own hair and makeup. She did everything for herself. She wasn't able to do, typically they do meet and greets and you pose for pictures with some of the bigger donors. I wasn't able to get a picture with her, but she was very gracious with her time. And I was really thankful. I've been trying to, I'm terrible at doing interviews. I'm horrible at it. And I've talked about it on the podcast. I don't need to rehash that. But what I've been doing is listening to other people that I think are good at interviews. And when they interview an author, what I found they do is they actually read excerpts from the book to the author, something that stood out to them that was meaningful. Bing! So I took that note and I read Tyra Banks' book, the one she wrote with her mother called Perfect is Boring. And I read a quote to her right off the bat. And I think that really made a difference in the tone of the interview and where it went from there. And let me just tell you, Andrea Dowling-Gold was praying for me. I was praying for me.
I was.
Did you say a prayer for me?
I did.
What did you say?
Say a prayer for me now.
Y'all know Alan didn't pray for me.
Save it for the morning after.
He might have thought good thoughts.
I did.
You did?
Yeah. I did.
Thank you. Well, it went really well. I had a calm come over me about it. And it went well. At the end of it, it was kind of awkward because Tyra and I kind of bowed at each other and did the prayer hands, like Japanese people do when they greet each other.
Whoa!
Well, because we couldn't hug her to shake hands because she's trying to stay distance. Why is that whoa, Alan?
That is wheels off.
Well, we said thank you.
So she's in a room full of people, but she can't shake
but
your hand?
But she kept her distance. And she's COVID protocol, honey. I am not. Whatever makes somebody comfortable, I want them to do that.
I understand.
And that's her job. And the fact that she flew in to do this.
I understand.
When she could have canceled.
I understand. Just
so
things that go against common sense, they puzzle me.
Well, honey, it's not. She can still get it. And she's doing everything she can to prevent getting it because she's got a job to do.
Yeah.
If we get COVID, nobody gives a crap about us, but she can't perform.
Nobody gives a crap if I get COVID?
No, they don't.
Okay.
I care, and I'm sure your mom and dad would. That's about the extent of
That's
the list.
kind of a clap.
Anyway, so that went really well, and I'm just relieved that it went well. I found a dress that I felt comfortable in. That was very important to me. I think once I found a dress that I could wear, it's a little bit more expensive than I wanted to pay, but I was in a desperate situation. I felt good in it. And, that's half the battle, is feeling good in what you're wearing, Alan.
Mm-hmm. You looked very nice.
Thank you.
You look very nice.
Thank you very much. Now, real quick before we continue, I need to tell you this. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients, seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep, so you can skip trips to the grocery store. We don't have a lot of time for that anymore. And you can count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable, which is why it's America's #1 meal kit. Now, when you click subscribe to HelloFresh, you can check save money off your fall to-do list. HelloFresh is 25% cheaper than takeout, and it's less expensive than grocery shopping because you're cutting down on unnecessary spending. When you're hungry and go grocery shopping, you buy stuff you don't need. And you also buy too much, you buy excess, and it's just waste. And plus, there's something really extra cozy about cooking at home during the fall, isn't there? Fall is the perfect time to try HelloFresh if you've been curious to see what all the fuss is about. With HelloFresh, ingredients travel from farm to your doorstep in less than 7 days. That's probably my favorite part, is the produce. The proteins are awesome, but the produce is just so crisp and beautiful. I love it. We got the most beautiful carrots, Alan, in this HelloFresh box. I saw them. Those carrots were out of this world. Anyway, if HelloFresh is now offering more vegan recipes on the menu every week too, made without any animal products at all. No dairy, no meat, no eggs or honey. But for me, we're protein eaters, so we can get that too. There are over 30 weekly recipes to choose from. It's easy to customize if you want to swap proteins or sides. You can add a protein or a veggie meal. I love these recipe cards. If you're watching us film the podcast on our YouTube, you can see me holding up a few of them right now. It's got a recipe card that has step-by-step instructions, visuals, so you can make sure that you're doing that's what it's supposed to look like. It shows you beautiful plating options, and then you get to keep the recipes and do like one of those big notebooks, and you'll have a whole, a treasury of delicious HelloFresh recipes that you can keep in your cooking arsenal for years to come. And Green Chef and Every Plate, now owned by HelloFresh, with a wider array of meal plans to choose from. There's something for everybody. We love switching between the brands, and you can do that as well.
So go to HelloFresh.com/sandwich65 and use code sandwich65 for 65% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/sandwich65 and use code sandwich65 for 65% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
Love it. Thank you, HelloFresh. All right, Alan, I have a little choice for you to make where we go from here.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about what your Halloween costume choice says about you.
Okay.
This is the time people are heading to those temporary pop-up shops, going to see what they have at Target and Walmart, which is a lot less than they used to have. Since COVID, they still haven't gotten those, supplies like they used to have. But this is when the time you're going to be picking it out. Do you want to hear from Dr. Wendy James, who is a psychologist and life consultant who works in the diagnosis and treatment of psychological issues, what she has to say about what your costume says about you? Or would you rather hear from Frank Kobola, the senior copywriter at Ruckus Marketing, who wrote an article for AskMen.com?
I will take the marketing guy over the piled higher and deeper PhD any day of the week.
I was prepared for both, but I'm so glad you chose his, because I think his is a more interesting list, but I think he's very right.
And people love lists.
Well, he just talks about the type of person. So
this is the time of year that any woman can dress up like a slut and get away with it.
True. So he talks about, now this is written for the AskMen.com audience, so it's a little bit more geared toward men, but he's talking about the 10 Halloween outfits you'll see this year and who is likely to wear them. But whatever outfit you commit to, it says a lot about who you are as a person. Are you the person who just puts in the bare minimum effort? That would be me. I don't want to get dressed up for Halloween. I don't want to. It's too much pressure. I feel like I can never think of something creative enough.
Who's putting the pressure on you?
myself. I'm saying I can't, there's nothing I can do. I don't want to just go buy something like one of those, slip on salt and pepper shakers or, those kind of costumes. But I don't feel creative enough to come up with something. If I do it, I want to knock it out of the ballpark. So I'd rather just not do it at all. I remember one year I was invited to a Halloween party and I did not want to go. And I was last minute. I took an index card. I wrote the number 3 on it, pinned it to my chest, and I went as Bachelorette number 3. That was my costume.
So your greatest fear is being like
not my greatest fear.
Is being like Charlie Brown, where he just throws the bed sheet over his head. And he tried to cut 2 holes in it, but he cut like 100 holes in it. And then he was just really wheels off.
It's not a fear. It's just pressure and stress. And I don't want to do it.
What about when you were Axl Rose? That was epic.
I did that for you.
I'm the one that came up with the costume.
I did that 100% for you. And you know that.
Are you going to do it again?
No.
You're going to do it this year.
No, I don't want to do the same thing every year. It's boring.
You can't get off the hook just because you've been married 5 years now.
But to do the same thing every year is boring.
Well, we're not going to do the same thing.
That's what I did finally. Oh, that was a relief.
Why don't you be a biker chick? You can put on that halter top that Kay gave you.
I can't even get that on my body. What are you talking about?
You can just hang it from one boob.
Yeah, it's so small. I can't wear that.
That thing is tiny.
I know. And she used to be that. She was like a stick when she wore that.
Well, Kay's not exactly
she's not
huge now.
She's not huge now, but she would admit that she was, back in the day.
That's an easy costume. You can
I can't put it on.
Throw on a bandana on your head.
I'd be Axl Rose again.
Wear one of my leather jackets.
Axl Rose.
Put your hair in a Harley braid. Put you on the back of
Willie Nelson.
Yeah, good call. Yeah,
all right,
good call. Move on. Willie. If we painted on a red beard, you would be Willie Nelson.
I don't want to. So, I was about to say, the year I was in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, they let us buy they said, you can buy the costumes if you want, or we're just going to keep them in the reserves, or what do they call it? The archives. I said, I'll buy it because I thought, there's my answer. I've got a little girl outfit because I was playing Sally in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And I was like, I can just be a little girl every year, a baby or Raggedy Ann or something. I wore the heck out of that. It was just a give up. But
what about a scarecrow?
I don't want to.
You don't want to be a scarecrow?
I don't want to be anything. I don't want to do it.
You just stand in the front yard?
I don't want to. All right. So here's a few examples of some get-ups someone will surely be wearing at the Halloween shindig you attend this year. This is according to, let me give him credit, Frank Kobola.
I bet you
wrote this for AskMen.com.
I'll bet you Jack Sparrow is one of them.
He doesn't do that. Oh. All right. So number 1, it's the person who didn't know it was going to be a costume party. Have you ever been that person where you show up and nobody gave you the heads up? So you show up completely without a costume on Halloween, wearing jeans and a long sleeve t-shirt, and everybody else is dressed like, a ghoul or something. And your costume ends up being the guy who's apologizing for forgetting it was Halloween. That says you are definitely lovable, but still goofy. That's what that says.
You just show up, you had no idea.
And you just end up apologizing all night. Like, I didn't know.
Shouldn't you assume, though, any Halloween party you go to, there may be people dressed up?
Maybe you think adults get over it and you don't put 2 and 2 together. A lot of people forget stuff's going on. A lot of people do.
Okay.
People forget it's Valentine's Day all the time if they don't have a sweetheart.
Not me.
A lot of people do, though. They'll forget it's Valentine's. No, you don't.
Thank you.
Number 2, the person purposefully not wearing a costume and aggressively telling everyone around them they don't like dressing up.
Gee, I wonder who that is.
Point the finger at me.
Wonder who that is.
He says, okay, we get it. You're not into Halloween and that's fine, but you don't need to try and ruin it for everyone else.
Thank you.
But you also don't need to try to force that person to dress up when they don't want to.
I don't think anybody ever forced you to do anything.
Do y'all not hear what I have to put up with?
No, because
he forces me.
No, because the year you did it, you actually were trying to do it. You were trying to get along.
Because I had to.
Now you just.
Now I don't.
Now you just refuse to do everything.
It says you're the same kind of person who needs to let everyone know you're a vegan atheist too. That's funny. Whoa. You got to let everybody know I'm not a vegan atheist, but we all know somebody that has to do that. You think you're incredibly interesting, but let others make that call. Number 3, the person who dressed like a cop or something similar. Mm-hmm. That means you put in minimal effort, but at least it's something. You're stoic, but you're still a people pleaser. That would be also me. I just put on the damn bandana and straighten my hair and say I'm Axl Rose and call it a day.
The one-way shades.
I just try to.
The one-way shades.
Because I'm just trying to please my
boots,
husband.
The flannel shirt. It was
Okay.
greatness.
But you hear what I'm saying? I was just doing as little as I could to please you.
Give me a little something.
You're not about
eyes of the bluest. Give me something.
I don't know any of it. You're not about to compromise who you are and go crazy for Halloween, but you also get you need to wear something, even if that something is a black suit and sunglasses, which you already owned. You just tell everybody you're one of the guys from Men in Black. But we all know the truth, and it's the thought that counts. Number 4, the person in a Ukraine. This is funny. The person in a Ukraine whistleblower costume that no one understands. Yes, you went to Staples and laminated a blurry picture of Ukraine to wear around your neck. You're even fervently blowing a whistle, but everyone thinks you're just a weird gym coach. It's a valiant effort, but you probably have a tendency to try too hard in real life. Also, by the time Halloween rolls around, everyone's forgotten this whole topic anyway. What's more relevant at this point is Trump's latest early morning tweet about how he wants to nuke the sun or something. This is according to this guy. But that's the thing, is if you try to be relevant about a world event, but too much time has passed and you have to be like, I'm the Ukraine whistleblower, tweet, tweet, and nobody gets it. That's the part nobody gets.
This is fake news.
Number 5, the person wearing next to nothing who demands they be called a lifeguard. You thought this was really, your entire costume is built around not having to wear a shirt. Okay, so this is for men. So it's sort of like the women dressing sexy.
This would be JC.
This is just a hot guy who wants to show off his pecs.
This would be my man.
So I'm a lifeguard. I'm an Olympic pole vaulter or whatever, right? So you can wear the tight pants.
I've done a lot of pole vaulting in my life.
Since you go to the gym, it's only right. People know that. It's good to be body positive, but you're more than just pecs. Let people see your heart. This also applies to wrestler costumes, boxer costumes, and shirtless doctor costumes. And also every sexy nurse, sexy nun, sexy teacher, sexy Girl Scout. We get it. You sexy.
Sexy wrestler? Like the old school with like the onesie
I guess so. As long as they're shirtless.
Speaking of sexy doctors, I saw Dr. Masson today.
Oh God, that's the guy that did our colonoscopy.
That's the guy who's been inside both our rear ends.
Oh, he's the hottest. If anybody's looking for a colon, I know everybody's like, why would I want to go to
I saw him in the wild.
Colonoscopy doctor?
I saw him in the wild.
I know. He
was driving in his luxury SUV right outside the UPS store.
So dreamy. Number 6, the person who thought dressing like a penis was an original idea.
That's funny. That's funny.
Okay, here's what he wrote. You thought this was really funny? Congratulations, it was. You still think you're the first person who ever thought of this and that you're the funniest person everyone knows?
That's funny.
You also still quote movies like Boll Branch and Anchorman at every opportunity without any acknowledgement that those movies, while classics, are always relevant.
Yes. That's
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 7, the person who thought it'd be a good idea to dress as Hitler. Don't be that guy.
Whoa.
That happened.
That's not
Harry.
That's not funny.
Prince Harry did it. Remember, he got in a lot of trouble for that.
Dress up as Hitler.
He did. Everyone's glaring, and rightfully so. You try to make light of terrible situations.
Prince Harry dressed up as Hitler
many years ago. This is something that just wasn't worth the effort. This goes for any hilariously offensive costume you think you can pull off because you're somehow special. See also blackface, transphobic costumes, etc. It does not qualify as humor. You're just a dick. It's the costume equivalent of, I identify as an attack helicopter. Nice try, but you should probably go.
That idiot Prime Minister of Canada dressed up in blackface.
Yeah.
Trudeau?
And I know a lot of people.
Is that his name? Trudeau?
Yeah. A lot of people try to be, like, I remember the year of 9/11, a lot of people went like it's the Twin Towers and stuff. It was bad.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
But people think because it's Halloween, not only can you be sexy, you can also be really offensive and get away with it. Number 8, the group who plan to be nondescript football players. So you commit to a group costume with a handful of your friends because you can't be bothered to come up with original ideas. So you and your said friends will spend the entire party only hanging out with each other in one corner. If you don't, those who find you waiting in line for the bathroom will have zero idea who you actually are. In real life, you're not someone who likes to stand out, and you opt to blend in with the rest. That's what people go as a group.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they do the big group thing.
Yeah, but you have to always be together for people to get it. If you're just by yourself, nobody gets it.
Yeah.
The couple who thought it'd be cute to dress as salt and pepper shakers.
That'd be you and me.
Well, I guess that's the equivalent of Axel
Right.
and
Right. It's like bacon and eggs. You
Yeah.
have to be together.
You do everything else with your significant other, so naturally Halloween costumes were inevitable. You tell your friends you were forced into this, but everyone knows you're sort of into it. It's also a way to let everyone know you're taken without needing to say anything.
We have a friend who does this every year.
Who
Noelle.
does what?
The bit where she makes her husband dress up as something complimentary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And also, finally, the one Halloween-obsessed person who spent the last 11 months putting together an elaborate Iron Man costume with moving parts. Superheroes are your life. The amount of money you spend on Comic-Con tickets is obscene. As you dress up for those events regularly, it was easy putting something like this together. Even if people judge you for showing up in something like this, you don't care what they think. And as amazing as the costume looks, once the night is over, it'll spend the next several years in a box in your garage, but you have no regrets. Some people get so into Halloween and they go all out. That's the person that Halloween is made for.
Yeah.
And you have your collection of stuff that you keep on hand just for costumes.
Well, I've got 2 costumes.
But not expensive with moving parts. I mean, you know who's really good at that? Patrick, our friend Patrick, who dresses up like that.
Yeah.
Some sort of
The Predator.
The Predator.
He has the entire Predator
entire getup
with the helmet and everything.
That's but he also gets to pull out and he wins costume contests with that.
I used to have I don't know if I've told this on the podcast or not. There was a magic store in downtown Plano one time and they were going out of business. One thing they also did was rent costumes. Mm-hmm. And when they went out of business, they sold all these costumes that they would rent. And I went in there and I got, for pennies on the dollar, an entire full-sized Batman costume.
Wow.
It had the freaking wings that went out, the helmet, the chest piece.
Where is it?
The cod piece.
Where is
it?
The
part that goes around your balls.
We all know. Where is it?
The thigh shields, and all I needed was boots. Oh, God. I think I gave that thing away years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
But that was when the kids were tiny.
I've been invited. I'm going to have to weasel my way out of it because I don't like dressing up, to a Mad Hatter costume party.
Oh, yeah.
And years ago, I was given the Queen of Hearts costume. And I have a picture of me. I had a miniature one for Emma Kellie and a full-size adult one for me. And that year for Halloween, I dressed because somebody gave it to me. And it was an expensive costume. And we both went as the Queen of Hearts. And I gave that to somebody, and I can't remember who I gave it to because I worn it, and I'm going to try to get out of that party. All right, listen. Fall is here. We're in a transition period. It's still kind of hot. We got cooler mornings. It still gets hot in the middle of the day. We're trying to do our transition wardrobe, things that still work. I'll tell you what always works no matter what time of year. And that's my Rothy's comfy slip-on flats. Versatile shoes, stylish and comfortable. Heck yes. And that's what you get when you shop at Rothy's. Their signature seamless knit designs look and feel great right out of the box. There's zero break-in period. And they've just launched 2 brand new sneaker styles. So if you have not been on the website lately, go back and look. They have extraordinary comfort for all day wear. I love when they they always add new colors and patterns, but when they add new styles, that gets me extra excited. And plus, like I said, transitioning to a new fall look is easy with Rothy's shoes for men and women and for men. Alan loves Rothy's too. And they're 100% machine washable. So if they need a little quick refresh, you just throw them in the wash, good as new. It's a no-brainer to wear a pair. I started off with my red camo points, one of their biggest bestsellers, but I think the ultimate bestseller is the round toe little black flat. That's the one I get the most use out of, but they still look good as new. And in fact, they're so comfortable when I get home from a long day. I don't even take them off and switch into my bedroom shoes. I just keep my Rothy's on. You've seen me wear those around the house all the time.
As I do.
I love them.
I love mine.
And Rothy's
don't forget the man.
Don't forget, Rothy's has amazing sneakers. Like I said, they've added the 2 new classic styles that are sustainably made with recycled single-use plastic bottles. Mm-hmm. Whether you like a luxe slip-on or a laid-back lace-up, you're going to feel extraordinary comfort with each step and know that your Rothy's are built to last. You're going to love them. And how keeping them white sneakers clean, it's a challenge. Machine washable.
Washable.
This is a no-brainer, everyone. Comfort, washability, durability, endless style in a flat. That's Rothy's. That's why I love them so much.
So get stylish shoes and versatile and durable enough to wear all the time with Rothy's. Get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/sandwich. That's ROTHYS.com/sandwich.
Thank you, Rothy's.
A couple of follow-ups from your Halloween list.
Yeah.
Because people love lists. The live studio audience wants to know if it would be harder for you to dress up as me or me to dress up as you.
Probably you to dress up as me. I think that'd be harder.
I'd have to shave.
Yeah, and you'd have to put on a frizzy red wig.
I'd have to put on a red wig.
You'd be easy. I just put on fake tattoo sleeves.
I'd throw on some Rothy's. I'd throw on those black parachute pants.
I'm wearing them right now.
And I'd throw on a Loverboy shirt or a 80s band concert shirt.
You're just describing what I'm wearing right now.
That's what you wear all the time.
I don't wear this Loverboy shirt all the time.
You wear those parachute
I will be
pants
honest,
all the time.
And
there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
My daughter says the same thing. I wear these pants all the time, but does she know I have 2 pair of them?
I don't think I've seen you not wear those pants.
I love them. I got them. Hashtag not an ad. Alan and I said we were going to do hashtag not an ad. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to tell you about my pants when we do. Let's do hashtag not an ad on the next podcast.
Okay.
Of our favorite products that we're not getting paid to tell you about.
Okay. And another pretty easy costume would be to go as Dahmer.
Oh no, that's gross.
That's
offensive.
You need the blonde wig parted to the side, and you need the David Koresh glasses. That's pretty much it.
No.
And a very nondescript beige button-up shirt.
Well, yeah. I guess as long as you're not doing stuff like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that would be in poor taste.
Yeah, it's poor taste. I get it.
Get it?
All right. So, I've always said Kid Craddock, when he was alive, he hated the idea of Big Brother watching. And we would talk about how, I get it. He didn't like seeing like cameras everywhere. Cameras are always watching you. I said, but the camera at the car wash that catches the kidnapper, those kind of things. Aren't you glad that camera was there? But he was basically trying to say, but at what price is that for your freedom? I'm saying that poorly. You're giving up some of your freedom when you're allowing the cameras to watch you all the time. Mm-hmm. And there's always like a little trade-off, right? Like when you sign up for anything anymore, you have to agree to accept cookies, and you have to say, okay, I know I'm going to get these messages and things like that. We're giving up a little piece of our freedom. At first, we might have balked against it, but now it's just like something we all accept. A lot of people were really paranoid about getting Alexas in their bedrooms. Mm-hmm. Because there's obviously a microphone in there and it can hear you. Well, who's listening to you? Is there somebody at the Amazon office that's listening to you? Is it, is information being used against you? I don't know. But listen, Amazon has now, this is what I want to ask you about. Amazon has unveiled a new bedside device that tracks your sleeping patterns, which could be helpful, right? It's called the Halo Rise. It uses no contact sensors and artificial intelligence to measure a user's movement and breathing patterns, allowing the device to track sleep stages during the night. Amazon said this device does not include cameras or microphones and will go for $139.99. The device can connect with its virtual assistant, Alexa, which does have a microphone, right? And allow users to wake up to their favorite songs, a light that simulates the colors and gradual brightening of a sunrise. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I might try that one out. I mean,
we have the Alexa in the bedroom. I finally gave in.
I'm very interested in things that help me sleep, but I've just worn my Apple Watch before, and you can download a million different sleep tracking apps.
Yeah, I got
the same thing.
I got the Echo Dot only because the last, I have to have an alarm clock or a clock of some sort. So when I roll over in the middle of the night, I can see what time it is. And that one had, it was dull enough, but bright enough where I could still see it. The last alarm clock I got was so bright. When you closed your eyes, you could still, it was like the sun was out, and I could never get it. Remember that? It was so bright in there, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, I do remember.
So I got the Amazon Echo Dot or whatever, thinking, oh, that'd be kind of cool. I can listen to music and stuff. But then I'm thinking, it's got a microphone. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not as paranoid as some people. Some people are like, absolutely not. But here's something interesting you might not know that is the iPhone 14. Do Do you have any interest in getting that at all?
I don't really, babe, because I have the 11 and it works fine. It's got a good camera.
Right.
I mean, I've invested a lot of money in these cases that fit on my motorcycles. So I really have no interest in getting another phone.
Well, the iPhone 14 has a new crash detection feature. Have you heard about it?
I have not.
It automatically detects when you've been in a severe car accident and
like
calls for emergency assistance.
Like the watch.
Yeah. If you are unconscious and you can't reach your phone, the screen of the phone will show this message. It looks like you've been in a crash. iPhone will trigger emergency SOS if you don't respond. And then when there's no response, it immediately calls emergency responders. So how does it work? The iPhone 14 features a dual core accelerometer. That's a real word. When I typed it in, spell check didn't correct me. So accelerometer is a real word. It's capable of detecting G-force measurements up to 256 Gs. What does that mean?
Wow. 256 Gs.
Is that really fast? I don't know.
No, that's 1 G is like what you weigh in normal gravity. 256 would be 256 times that.
Well, it can detect G-force measurements up to 256 Gs. It also has a new high dynamic range gyroscope. They're used in combination with components in previous iPhone models, like a barometer, which can detect changes in the cabin pressure, GPS for speed changes, and the microphone, which recognizes loud noises you would typically hear in a severe car crash. So all that combined together, Apple trained its algorithms over 1 million hours of real world driving and crash record data to accurately detect when an accident takes place.
Did you just say accelerometer and algorithm in the last minute?
I did. I'm reading.
Oh.
So when a severe crash is detected, the emergency services call interface will appear on Apple Watch, if you have that, which is most likely close to the user. Because if you're in a crash, your watch is right there with you. Your phone might be somewhere else. So the call will be placed through your iPhone, but then you'll still be able, you'll have that little feature where you can be like at least some connection through your watch. I don't know. So the new feature actually came into play this past weekend in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I sent this story to my daughter immediately when I saw it, because she is about to get her driver's license. And I told her, I don't care how careful you are, you're going to have friends in the car with you, and they are going to distract you. They're going to be cutting up,
be talking,
and y'all are going to be talking and not paying attention. And and good kids, I'm not talking bad kids who run around smoking and doing drugs. Good kids.
Hey, look at this snap.
End up dead.
Look what he posted.
Because they're being, who knows? So anyway, in Lincoln, Nebraska, this past Sunday, 5 men and 1 woman, all in their 20s, young people. They were crammed into a Honda Accord. 6 people crammed into a Honda Accord, crashed into a tree at 2:15 a.m. Somebody in the car had the new iPhone 14.
Okay.
Immediately sensed there was an accident and got 911, and the first responders were out there very quickly. Unfortunately, the 5 men died at the scene, and the young woman, the 24-year-old woman, died at the hospital later. Man. But that just goes to show you that it works. Unfortunately, it had very tragic consequences. But I sent that story. Anytime I see something like that now, I'm trying to scare the crap out of my daughter. And so I hope that works.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big responsibility. Like
nobody ever thinks it's going to happen to you. And I was telling a story, and I won't name names in case she just happens to be listening, but I was going to church one night with my girlfriend, very good girl, but she was a little silly. She was so funny. She made me laugh all the time. She could act out dirty. My friend Tommy Jean, I think, is listening to the podcast. She'll know exactly what I'm talking about. My friend could act out dirty dancing from start to finish in less than 2 minutes. It was hysterical. We'd be doubled over crying. She was the funniest person I knew back then. One day we're driving to church, and we're just on the road, and I'm just driving along, and she reaches over, grabs the steering wheel, and jerks it down, trying to send me sailing into the next lane of traffic.
Why'd she do that?
She thought it was funny. When you're a teenager, you don't think about, we could have rolled over. We could have died.
It's a good way to flip a car.
I was so mad at her. I could have killed her. I could have killed us both, honestly, because she grabbed the wheel. And I was trying to tell him, Kellie, and she's like, my friends wouldn't do that. Well, I didn't think my little church going funny friend would do that either. It's scary. Anyway, I don't want to end on that note. I'm going to end on some positive notes. But first, Alan and I have to tell you, we've got our sheets in the laundry right now because our dog threw up on them last night. Poor Zoe.
I think she peed on them.
We don't know. I don't think it was pee. I smelled it. I think she threw up. But let me tell you, I feel sorry for my dog. I hate that she did this because we had just put our new Boll Branch sheets on the bed.
We did.
We had just put them on the bed. They were fresh. They were clean. I love these Boll Branch sheets so much. I have been looking for the perfect king size sheets for our bed for I don't know how long. I'm going to tell you, these are the perfect color. They're the perfect weight. They fit perfectly on the bed. I am so pleased. And this fall, there's nothing better than snuggling into cozy, soft sheets. And if you're looking for the best sheets, I want you to consider Boll Branch. They use only the best 100% organic cotton threads on earth for a superior softness that only gets more luxurious with every wash. Let me tell you, we're washing them twice after what Zoe did on them. But I can't wait to get them out of the dryer and put them back on the bed and crawl in tonight. That's my favorite place in the world is my bed. So I want it to be as comfortable and cozy as possible. Boll Branch focuses on thread quality. You always hear about thread count, right? So Boll Branch sheets, they're impossibly soft and luxurious. It doesn't matter how many threads your sheets have had. If they're not made with the best organic cotton fibers in the world, it doesn't matter. We love them. We tried every brand out there. Boll Branch, officially my favorite. And we chose we always get that kind of charcoaly gray color because I think when you add a rich color, something that's not white, everybody gets white. And Boll Branch has the white sheets. I think if you just do something as simple as just picking a different color, a richer color, it makes for a better experience. And just remember that they've got 9 colors to choose from. They fit all mattress sizes, fits the king size perfectly. You're going to feel the difference the moment you lie down. But listen, Boll Branch does give you a 30-night risk-free trial with free shipping and returns on all orders. There's no risk here, and I think you're going to be really pleased if you give them a try.
So try the sheets that will make fall the coziest season of the year. Get 15% off your first set of sheets and free shipping when you use promo code SANDWICH at bollandbranch.com. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND branch.com. Promo code SANDWICH.
Very happy.
Boll and Branch.
I don't know what got into her last night. I was ready to go to bed. I just washed my face and I went to the bed and I was like, what is this gigantic wet spot? And whatever she did, I don't even know.
The live studio audience is very surprised that Zoe was the one that did this and not Larry.
Well, we don't let Larry on the bed. I love having Larry on the bed with me, but his little legs can't handle jumping off the king size bed.
Oh, he'd break his back.
Well, that happened with my last dog, George. George was a Yorkie poo poo, and George would always sleep with me, and he had no issues. And he would jump off the bed, and I didn't think anything of it until the day he jumped off and dislocated his knee, and or whatever. Do dogs have knees? And anyway, it ended up costing thousands of dollars getting that surgery, which I would, of course, you don't want your dog to hurt, but I don't want him to have to go through that. So we don't let Larry get on the bed. But Zoe's a big schnauzer. She springs up there and she's fine.
Well, she's a miniature schnauzer.
Yeah, but she's still big enough to jump up there and jump off with no issues.
Well,
but I think she must have eaten something in the yard or something.
It wasn't her fault.
Oh, it's never her fault.
No.
If Larry did it, you'd want to take him on a long walk.
I think Larry scared her.
Probably what it was.
I do want to take Larry on a long walk, just he and I out in West Texas. In fact, when I go to Lubbock, when I take the bike ride from Dallas to Lubbock, I'm going to take Larry. I'm going to stuff him in one of the saddlebags. And then when I stop in like Guthrie out by not King Ranch. What is that ranch out there? 3Ks or 4Ks ranch, whatever it is. Larry and I are just going to take a long walk down a country road, just he and I.
I wonder if people find the fact that you want to kill our dog humorous.
I don't want to do that. Whoever said anything about that?
Setting them up for being eaten by coyotes or something.
There's not many coyotes out there.
Alan.
There's wild pigs too.
I love Larry, and trust me, nothing's happening to that dog on my watch. Okay. All right. Now it's time for my favorite part of the podcast. We wrap up by reading the 5-star reviews that I've so lovingly begged y'all to leave for us. Because you know what? It's easy to leave a 1-star negative review. And if I see that 1 star, I'm just going to skip over it because it hurts my feelings. I don't care if it is constructive criticism. It hurts. So I'm reading the 5-star reviews, and I'm going to say the names if you include those too. This one was left by Tab Garcia, whose name is actually Tabrina. Isn't that interesting? It's not Tabitha, it's Tabrina. I am newish to the podcast game. Your podcast is one of the very first that I started listening to, and I just love it. Listening to y'all is like listening to real life. I honestly wish y'all made a new one each and every day. Oh, Tabrina, that's a little too much. She said, I sometimes get anxiety when driving, but listening to the podcast is distracting just enough that I forget about being anxious. Thank you for being authentic and honest so the rest of us don't feel so bad about our issues. I love the bickering, the kids' stories, the marriage stories, even Alan's A-Train lewd stories. Every day I get the pleasure of listening to your podcast is a blessing. Sometimes I just laugh out loud. Keep up the very good work. Oh, keep up the good work. I don't want to add a word. Keep up the good work, and I'll be listening. Your very best customer, Tabrina.
All right.
Isn't that nice?
Love Tabrina.
And this one's from Dana Whitten.
Whitten.
She titled it, my friends Kellie and Alan.
Mm-hmm.
LOL, I'm always repeating things I've heard or learned on your podcast. And I always say, my friends Kellie and Alan were telling me, ... That's cute. I look forward to every new podcast and I've listened since day one. You are and always will be my favorites in my heart, my family. Keep being you. I love you both, Dana Whitten.
That's
Thank
nice.
you, Dana.
What a nice note.
Very nice.
Very nice.
And I might read your 5-star review if you leave one for us. Hey, follow me on Instagram at Kellie Rasberry. Our podcast, A Sandwich and Some Lovin', is also on Instagram.
It is. You can follow me at the Alonzo 1971. I am also on the Facebook, Alan Evans.
And wherever you subscribe to your podcast, please subscribe, share it with your friends, and leave us that 5-star review. And maybe I'll read yours next podcast. And remember, Alan, we have a homework assignment. Next podcast, hashtag not an ad.
We'll do hashtag not an ad. There was something that I brought to this podcast, but I did not get to do it. But that's okay. That's okay.
Well, we talked about
We'll push it to next podcast.
We talked about that before the podcast, that you said you were going to save it.
Well, no, I had letters too.
You said you were going to save it.
So basically I had half a podcast.
Well, then we're practically halfway done for next week.
Yeah, we are. No, we'll have a lot. Should we mention we're our new schedule?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, hold on. Hey, babe, the phone's ringing. You want me to patch in who's on the phone?
Well, I mean, we didn't schedule that, but sure.
Okay, here, hold on. All right, hello? Hey, Alan. Hey, Kellie.
Is this El Presidente?
Hey, Kellie, this is Sean Nunn. Hi, El Presidente.
Hi, El Presidente. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Hey, is that Numbnuts Alan on there with you? Hey, Sean, what's going on? Hey, Alan, how you doing? Hey, you and me and the notorious BMG and that redheaded wife of yours. Let's all get some sushi sometime. What do you say?
Okay. I mean, I like California rolls with jalapeno.
Yeah, that sounds good, Sean. Hey, I just want to get on here and kind of clear up what's been going on. There's a rumor going around that y'all are going to do one podcast a week for the balance of 2022. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's true?
Yes, sir.
That's true, Alan. Yeah, you guys are going to do one podcast, you numbnuts. You understand that? Okay, Sean, I got it, man. Why is he talking to me like that?
I don't know. I didn't write the script.
Well, there is no script. I just called in to tell you knuckleheads, you're going to do one podcast a week for the rest of 2022.
Well, I don't understand why you're calling me a name, El Presidente.
Kellie, I didn't call you one. I called that numbnuts husband of yours one.
Well, you said you knuckleheads. That's plural.
Well, that's a term of endearment.
All right. Love you too.
All right. Well, I'm going to go now. I'm going down to Austin. I got to go. I drive to Austin a lot.
I know.
Yeah.
That's your primary residence.
That's where I live.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say.
I think that was quite enough. Thank you,
okay.
Presidente.
All right. Bye.
Hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to be going back to one podcast per week. Life is really, really crazy right now. And we just made the decision that we're going to just go back to the original plan for this podcast was one a week. And so we're going to do that. And it's going to drop every Thursday.
Well, let's be real. The holidays are approaching. Everyone gets busy.
Very busy.
You know, that's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
We love you all. That doesn't mean we love you any less.
But hey, if Boss Man George and Sean say go to one a week, we go to one a week.
But we're just gonna be doing one for a while. It's just listen. It's for all of our own good. Okay. We love you all very much. And if you really miss us coming at you twice a week, every once in a while we might surprise you with a bonus episode. Every once in a while. Maybe there'll be a special guest who comes to town. My friends Tommy, Jean, and Diana are coming to see me at the end of October. Maybe I'll do a special episode with just Tommy, Jean, and Diana.
Yeah,
we'll do a little girl talk, right? That would be a special bonus episode. But we didn't want to just we'll spring those on as surprises. But you can know at least for now that you can always look forward to a Sandwiches and Lovin' every Thursday. All right?
So just real quick, we introduced the Sandwiches and Lovin' drinking game a couple of podcasts ago.
Yeah.
Our live studio audience, I think they all have alcohol poisoning.
Why?
Where do I start? You mentioned EK's driving school. I zoned out. You got irritated at me. You did a list. I did impressions. What else?
I don't know. I don't keep track, honey.
Yeah. It was a lot. I think you clapped back at me. So yeah, there was a lot.
Okay.
So
was it entertaining?
They're all passed out and drunk.
Hey, getting drunk is half the fun. Getting there. Recovering, not so fun.
All right, babe. You got anything else?
No, I'm thoroughly done.
Hey, your Dallas Cowboys. 3-1.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about them Cowboys? Oh, did you hear? Real quick. Oh, God, this podcast is never going to end. The guy that caught the record-breaking baseball was JC's friend. Did you hear that on the radio this morning?
Get out of here.
JC and Big Al were invited to go and sit with him, and they could not go.
Who is it?
It's some doctor friend of theirs.
Really?
Yes. And so he and the guy that they were supposed to be sitting there caught the ball.
That is crazy.
The doctor caught the ball.
Wow.
And JC and Big Al both said, no, we can't. JC had football stuff, and Big Al lives in Waxahachie. They're like, no. And their friend caught the ball. They have the guy sent him the video where he's like watching the ball get hit, and he's like, oh my God, it's coming toward me. And he had to put the phone down because he was filming the ball coming towards him.
So if you don't know what Kelly's talking about, you don't keep up with baseball, there's this dude who plays for the New York Yankees. His name's Aaron Judge, and he broke Roger Maris's home run record for the American League, which is 61 home runs in a season. He just hit his 62nd, and he did it on the Rangers.
Yeah.
And he hits the ball. I didn't know this. He hits the ball to freaking JC and Big Al's friend.
Yeah. And JC and Big Al were supposed to be there. Well, they were invited.
And I was telling Kelly asked me last night, she goes, what do you think the guy's going to do with the ball? Or she said, what would you do with the ball? And I said, babe, that is a tough question. I don't know. I mean, the ball is worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And it's his ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to give it back to anybody. But gosh, I'd feel like such a worm if I was like, no, it's my ball and I'm gonna sell it for millions of dollars.
But nobody's mad about it. I think everybody just expected that, right?
Yeah. I want to say that I'd have enough heart to say, hey, can somebody just ask Aaron Judge if he wants the ball?
Of course he would.
And if he did, and if you just did that on the down low, I'll bet you the player would do something for you. I don't know if he wouldn't give you $1 million, but he would do something for you.
You would think. Yeah, I'd like, we always like to think we do the noble thing, but some people are like, hell no, I'd take my millions.
Yeah. Oh,
anyway.
So I got a 3-minute story. Can I tell you?
We're never going to end this podcast.
Okay. So the Cowboys are 3-1. This is my Cowboys for the week talk. Everyone's going 8S about Cooper Rush because he hasn't lost a game. Okay. Everybody thinks this guy is the next coming of freaking Troy Aikman. There was a meme, and the meme had a fuzzy picture of a emoji goat. And then the next frame was somebody wiping their glasses, cleaning their glasses. And then the next frame was a clear picture of Cooper Rush.
Right.
Okay. Ha, ha, ha.
Ha, ha.
He's the Cowboys goat.
Which is really a slam at Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Technically.
Kind of, yeah. So I thought this was kind of funny. So I sent it to my pal. Number 8.
Who is that?
T8.
Who's that?
We know who that is.
No, some people might not.
Mr. Aikman. So I sent it.
Mr. Aikman?
Yes.
Troy?
Yes. So
did you send that to Troy Aikman?
Yes. So I sent it to TA, Champ, 8 Ball.
Mm.
And
so
then
yes. to the greatest,
Yes.
the GOAT.
Yes.
You basically send him a meme saying, you're not the GOAT.
Right.
It's this backup quarterback.
Right. So I thought it was funny, but then I got to thinking.
At first you're thinking, oh, this is about Dak. But you're
right.
Like, uh-oh.
I was like, oh.
Troy Aikman was also a quarterback.
OS.
Yeah, that was a bad move.
So then I panicked. And I'm thinking, there are so many ways you could read this. You could read this as I'm a Dak hater. I truly believe Cooper Rush is the best ever. Or I'm making fun of you.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Yeah.
So I was essing in my pants.
You need to think.
And it was chirp, chirp, chirp.
Okay. In Troy's defense, it was Monday.
Yeah.
He's preparing for Monday Night Football.
Yeah. So I sent this exchange, like I asked my family, and Kellie was on the group chat. I said, I think I've really messed up.
And we all agreed you had. Every one of us.
I said,
we did nothing to make you feel better.
Yeah, right. I said, should I make some clarifying comments?
We said no.
Everyone was like, no.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Leave him alone. Don't say anything else. So what
did you do?
So what do I do?
You said something else.
I go back and make clarifying comments. And I just said,
you couldn't help yourself.
I just said, hey, by the way, I read this meme sarcastically. That's the way I took it. About 10 minutes later, he ha-ha'd. Because he
let you off the hook.
He doesn't LOL.
He let you off the hook.
He ha-ha'd.
So now that was Alan's humble brag.
Man,
that Troy Aikman responded to his DM.
I feel so much better.
Okay, so that's what the basic gist
No,
of that
that's not a humble
is,
brag. I was panicking.
That Troy responded to his DM.
Listen, listener. Listen to this. Listen to this. You should see this one. And I'm pointing to my wife, Kellie Rasberry Evans, when she gets a little interaction from the man himself.
Yeah.
You should see her floating around, fluttering around.
Because I love him. And
turning beet red.
Because I'm flustered.
I don't think I've ever seen her that excited for anything that I've ever done.
I get the vapors. Listen, but who do I show those to? Only you. Only to you. I don't brag to everybody.
I'm not bragging.
That's just between me and Troy.
How am I bragging?
And my husband.
How am I bragging? That was
a humble brag.
It was not a humble brag.
That you and Troy communicate via DM is a humble brag. Who's feeling me on that?
He did call me pal one time.
Who's feeling me on that?
All right, babe. You got anything else?
No, I've been trying to sign off. I got to get Emma Kellie from driving school. Drink.
Yeah, drink. Oh, yeah. All right. Well,
I didn't know that was one of the drinking things.
Well, you bring it up every podcast.
Well, you just said it was a drinking thing. Well, that's because that's what she's doing right now. And every time we're recording the podcast, I've got to leave because I got to go get her. But she's finishing up this week, except for 2 makeup classes she has to do.
But I say the word lewd every podcast, and there it is.
And drink. You are lewd.
Drink. Well, good call. I love you desperately.
I love you.
I love our listeners desperately.
Love y'all.
I love them so desperately. We will podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye. Not a dime, not a humble brag.
Oh, they all agree with me.
Not a dime and not a humble brag.
Y'all know.
Just the truth. Why poor little Larry? What's the matter?
Gulping.
What's wrong?
Burping the whole
I'm
podcast.
Not burping.
You were the whole podcast.
I was what? Sin, can you please just clip that thing she just did? Thank you.
We should just clip you actually doing it.
I'm more discreet than that. I wasn't humble bragging. Didn't humble brag. There was a reference to my bowel movements though, so that's a drink. I said I was essing my pants, so you can drink on that. Julie, if I don't know if you're really playing, but if you are really playing, you're toast. You're gonna be toast. I think you have to play this game with like a beer or a wine cooler or something not very potent. You couldn't do it with shots because you'd be dead. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate you. Yes, Savanita, you need an after podcast drink. Absolutely. White Claw, that's a good one, Taylor. Yeah, you can do that. I like this drinking game. I may start playing it too. I'll have to write down which ones are ours, though, like that we're going to keep up with. Maybe just the ones we said on the podcast. Oh, God.
Okay. Oh. Let's see. What are we calling this podcast? Help me out. I got to do this and go get him a Kellie. I might have to finish writing this when I get back. A sandwich and some what? Alan, look for me, please.
What?
Get me a podcast title.
There's nothing.
Alan, you're not even looking.
There's nothing.
Are y'all helping me with a title? Okay, I gotta go if you're not gonna help me because I really gotta go.
What do you want me to do?
Get a title for me, please.
I don't do the titles. A sandwich and a dime, a sandwich and a humble brag, a sandwich and a haha. That's a good one. Way to go, Charles. I think that's pretty good. A sandwich and a haha, a sandwich and a humble brag. Wasn't a humble brag. Oh. Savanita went with Jack and Coke to play the game. Oofa. Liz says there. A sandwich and some alcohol poisoning. This makes me think that we just do the same show every time. Is that what we do? We just get on here and do the same bits and do a couple of lists and then we're out? Is that what we're doing? Stop talking. How would bingo work? Kind of the same way? Like we'd have squares and one says like Alan says lewd, Kellie gets annoyed at Alan, stuff like that. Is that how it works? But how do we distribute the cards? Is it online? Like online bingo? Loteria. Saying I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. What do Loteria mean? What do Loteria mean? Saying my dad's a boomer. I'm not that old. Sandwich and some jipping the listener with one podcast a week. Hi, this is Sean Nunn. El Presidente. A sandwich and some Kellie doesn't know who Wheezy is. It's sad. Shedding, babe.
I gotta go.
Gotta go. www.gottago.com.org.edu.
This is gonna be the most.
Oh, come on! Don't jip the. Don't jip the podcast
description.
Yeah, don't jip the listener on the description. So that's one of our key marketing touch points. You got to give them a white glove customer experience with every touch point. Oh, God. These guys. Bunch of goobers. Doofy. Y'all are doofy. It's an affectionate plural of doofus.
Okay, I gotta get into Kellie, y'all. I'm really, I gotta go. Love y'all so much. So much. You're all my favorites.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sandwiching some blaming Larry for
I already did some
Zoe's.
haha, and I forgot to do the thing about Larry. Sorry, I have to go. Got to go.
Kellie's running.
I'm gonna be late.
Don't trip.
Let the dogs out, please.
Who let the dogs out?
I'll do it real quick, I guess.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, Julie, are you really hammered? Ooh, Kellie's out of here. All right, peeps. I'm gonna shut this guy down and do the upload. Put my big fat butt on the couch. Zoe, it wasn't your fault. Good girl, good girl. Wasn't your fault. No, wasn't your fault. It was that mean Larry. Larry scared you. Yeah, Larry scared you. Yeah, he did. Scared you. That's the reason you barfed on my bed. Look at this dog. She wouldn't barf on the bed on purpose. Right? What are you doing, FOMO? It's just the FOMO dog. She has FOMO. You need to brush your hair, FOMO. You're looking kind of ragged. Sweet girl. Oh, there's Larry. What you doing, Larry? Where's Larry? I hear Larry. He's down there somewhere. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Look at dog tummy. Look at dog tummy. Look at dog belly. Dog belly. Sweet girl. Oh, love that dog. Sweet girl. Mwah. See you guys soon.